A very good morning to one and all. In this video, we are going to study in detail about finding most common words in a given file. To do this, first we need to read a content of file. After that, we need to read content line by line. Then we need to split line into words by using split function, and along with that here we are going to remove any punctuations are present in a given file, and for that we are using our built-in functions like translate as well as make translation. And also first we are going to convert all the characters to a lowercase. If any of them are containing uppercase letters, first we are going to convert entire file content into a lower characters. To understand this program, first we need to understand how our translate function works. If you observe, or to do so, first we will go to the syntax of translate. If you observe here, syntax of translate function is, it is taking from string, and second parameter is toString, and third parameter is delete string. As the name itself indicates, make translation, that is nothing but the characters which are part of from string can be replaced with the character in a toString in the same position, and delete string is the characters which you want to delete from a given file or from a given string. So normally in our program it demands us to delete only punctuations, so we can pass string punctuations, and before that we need to import string function to call these two built-in functions, and also to define a variable string punctuation. If you see here, I am importing string, and string dot punctuation I am defining all the exceptional characters or punctuations which we can use in our file, or out of these whichever you want to remove from your given file, you can list only them. So once we understand this function, now we can easily understand this program. This is a very simple one. Here we are reading content from bio.txt. We are assuming that it exists in your current directory. If you are not sure on this part, it is always better to call open function using it is always better to use try and except block to open your file. Suppose if file is unable to open due to one of the following cases, like suppose your file is not part of your current directory, or specified path is not proper, or the name which you have entered is wrong, or as a user if you don't have read or write permission on that, or suppose file is corrupted. In all these cases, or in any of these cases, your Python interpreter or compiler will throw exception. So hence the line f and equal to open bio.txt, we need to call this inside try block, and in except block we can print error message stating to the end user and exit from the program. That is how normally we need to do, and same thing we have done in our earlier examples. And as we have not specified mode of the file, so by default it is read. It will read or it is allowing only read operation on the bio.txt. And after that, if you observe, I am creating a dictionary variable by calling a dictionary constructor. In this example, counts is a variable of type dictionary. Then I am reading line by line from a given file bio.txt, and my file handler is pointing to the beginning of the file. Once I read a first line from file, my intention, as I have stated here, I don't want to convert or replace anything. So because of that, my from and to strings are empty. That you can see in make translation, first and second parameters are empty. Here I want to remove all the punctuations. So I am passing third parameter as a string dot punctuation, which we have discussed. The syntax of that is delete characters as the third parameter. Whichever parameter we specify in third argument, all those characters will be deleted from your given file. In this example, my intention is to remove punctuations if any. So hence I am passing third argument as a string dot punctuation. And after importing string, it is always better to define string dot punctuations or all the characters which we want to remove from the file or from the red line. As I have stated, if any of the character is uppercase, first we need to convert them into a lowercase. That I am doing by calling my built-in function that is lower on a string line. Hence line dot lower converts all the characters, or if any character is in uppercase, it will convert all of them into lowercase letters and it will store back into line variable. Using split built-in function, I am splitting words and I am storing them into a words. Here words is acting as a list. It is containing all the words which are split using built-in function split on a given line. After that, I am checking whether that particular word is part of our counts or not. If it is part of counts, just I am incrementing the count value. If it is not part of the count, here counts is acting as a dictionary as I have stated. Or in second line you can clearly see here counts equal to dictionary. We have called built-in constructor dictionary to create a empty dictionary with name counts. So not in, as I have discussed in yesterday's class, if word is not part of our dictionary, then if condition becomes true, because here we are checking not in. If it is not part of our dictionary, then simply we are pushing that word and we are making count as a 1 on that particular position for that particular word. If already that particular word is present in dictionary, we need to increment the count value. So hence, if it is part of our dictionary, it will switch to else part. In else part, I am incrementing the count value by 1. After that, if you observe, I am calling a list constructor to create list variable, that is LST. And now our dictionary count is having all the elements in terms of key value pair. Key is our word, value is number of times it is repeated, that is count. So hence if you observe, I am calling item built-in function on dictionary counts to convert a dictionary elements into list of tuples. In each iteration, I am reading key and value and I am appending a red element, that is key and value, to the list. While appending, I am first appending value, then I am appending key. So every time whenever we are appending, we will insert value as a key, and then we are, or while appending elements, first we are inserting value, then we are inserting key. So if you observe, I am calling sort function and I am saying reverse equal to true. So it will always sort the list elements with number of times it is repeated. Suppose that particular count is same, in that case it will check words, and out of that whichever is bigger it will print first that, because in sort function we are saying reverse equal to true. Hence in an output, if you observe, first two rays are having value 5, 5. In that case we need to go for second element comparison, and second element comparison is word, that is of and and. In out of these two, of is having higher ASCII value compared to a. Hence our intention is to reverse words in descending order. First it is printing of and then it is printing and. Similarly, next two rows if you observe, again we are having same value 4, 4 and 4. Due to that, again sorting is based on word, and the ASCII value of he is greater compared to has, because it will compare only character by character. When it compare H and H, it is same, and then it will shift for second character comparison from both the sequence. Then E is greater than A, hence it is printing first he and afterwards it is printing has. The process of comparison will continue in the same manner, or else fifth row you can see here we need not to compare with words, because the only count which occurs 3 is once, so straight away it is printing 3 yes. Second element comparison is not required. In last 5 rows, whatever we are observing 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all the values are similar. Due to that, based on our word, we are sorting the values. Due to that, if you observe, the, then, research, published and mode are sorted in a descending order. I hope you have understood the functionality of this program as well as how we can find most common words in a given file. As we have studied these definitions, comparable, a type where one value can be checked to see if it is greater than or less than or equal to another value of the same type. Here, whenever we are making comparison, both the values should be belonging to the same type. Heterogeneous value comparison will not work. Types which are comparable can be put in a list or sorted. List and sorted. Data structure, a collection of related values. It may be list, it may be dictionary, or it may be tuples, etc. DSU, as we have discussed in this earlier video, that is decorate, sort, undecorate. This is a pattern that involves building a list of tuples, sorting all the elements in the tuples and extracting part of the result. Gather, the operation of assembling a variable length argument tuple. A hashable, it is a hash function. Here we can use immutable types like integers, floats and strings as a hashable, whereas mutable types like lists and dictionaries cannot be used as a hashable function. Scatter, the operation of treating a sequence as a list of arguments. Shape, a summary of the type, size and composition of a data structure. Singleton, a list with a single element or any data type with a single element. Tuple, as we have studied in our earlier videos, it is an immutable sequence of elements and each element is separated by comma. Suppose tuple is having only one element that should end with trailing character, trailing comma. Tuple assignment, an assignment with a sequence on the right side and a tuple of variables on the left. This we have discussed in our previous video with an example like m equal to have fun, where m is acting as a tuple and we are initializing two elements at a time to the tuple m. The right side is evaluated and then its elements are assigned to the variables on the left. In our next video, we are going to study in detail regular expressions. Thank you.